When you're working in Planning Analytics Workspace, something that you often want to do is filter your data in different ways. And one of the tools that we use to do that is the set editor. Now, the set editor can be accessed in a couple of different ways. If you have a context item like we see here, you may have a pencil icon in the top right corner. If that is there, you can use it to enter the set editor. But it is possible that if the developer has defined this specific dropdown as not allowing you to access that set editor, the icon may not be there and then you can't use this functionality. But the other way that we can get into that set editor is if you're in a cube view, you need to have the overview shown. So once you have this section up the top, what you can do is just click in any of these items, be it on your title elements, your rows, or your columns, and for all of them you will see that same pencil icon appearing. And if we go into there, so what we have for what we're trying to define, the items that we will see at the end, we want them to be in this right hand window. So you'll have two windows, the left and the right. What you want to do is all of the elements that you want to see, you need to get them into that right hand window. And the way that we can do that is using the left window. So to start off with, in the left window, up in the top corner, we will see the name of the dimension we are working with. Now, if you have alternate hierarchies on that dimension, they will appear in that drop-down and you can flip between them there. And next to that, we have a list of predefined subsets. So these may be public subsets that are available to everyone or private subsets that are just available to you. And you also have some additional drop-downs, such as being able to just bring back all the lowest level elements. But if we want to find something quite specific in a big dimension and we know the name of it, we can simply type what we are looking for and click enter or click our little search icon here, and it will find the element that we are looking for. And potentially we want to find more than one element. So what we can do is if you click this down arrow next to that search box, we then get this. And we can search on the name of the element itself, or we can search on some other options. So we can filter down to certain levels, i.e. leaf level being the lowest. In this case, I don't have named levels, so we just have them in terms of order. So level 000 is the very highest level, which in this case is all stores. Leaf level is the lowest level, which is stores, and then we have the levels in between. But I can also search on attributes if I have those defined. So in this case, my stores all have an address assigned to them as well. And I can choose to search for where it starts with a certain character set or ends with, or it can be exactly equal to or containing. But I know the postcode for Peterborough is always starting with PE. So I'm going to search for any where the address contains PE. And now I've managed to find my Peterborough store and some stores in France that also have a postcode or address containing the letters PE. So here we can see PE, and I guess it's in the address for the store in Brest. But I didn't want it to contain those. So what I can also do is add another filter, and I'm going to say the name starts with GB. And then it will filter to only the one that I was looking for there. And you can add as many of these filters as you want and start doing it that way. But something worth noting is that it is filtering with an and sort of definition. So there's not an or option in there for us. But if we get the and we can click our arrow here to bring it over to the right-hand window. Now, if you've got some stuff in the right-hand window that you want to get rid of, you can get rid of them individually by right-clicking and selecting remove, or you can get rid of all of them by clicking that little X up there. But now I'm going to go back to the all members and get rid of my search setting. So if I bring GB over to the right, the default behavior is that we just bring that single element. But this blue dot in the center has a few other options to it. So what I can do is if I click children and then move GB to the right, it will bring GB and its direct children across instead. And there are some similar options in there, so I can bring GB with all of its descendants, which in this case is the same thing. But if it was all stores, for example, instead of just bringing all stores and its direct children, it brings everything underneath it. But we get what we want over in the right-hand side. And you can use your general control and click to select more than one thing, or you can hold down shift to select a range. But what you just want to do is get them over to the right-hand side. And when they're there, you can also change the positioning of them with move up, move down, and you can drag items as well. We see we get our red line there, and that lets us put them in a specific order that we are interested in. And what I will also show you is the default behavior is that a consolidation appears at the top with its children underneath it. If I click this icon, it can swap those around, so the consolidation ends up at the bottom of our list instead of the top. And this little icon that is supposed to look like a person is the alias. So if you have aliases set on your dimension, which is where a specific element can have more than one name, you can filter between them there. But once you've got what you want selected, you press apply and close to use it. Now, if this was on the rows, we would see exactly the same thing. But when it's in a title element like we see here, what you will end up with is the one that's at the top. So normally for a title element, you're going to filter it so you're just looking at one element. But if you have multiple elements in your screen, it will still let you bring them across. But the one that is first in the list will then be in there. And if we click on this, all of the elements we had are now available for us to choose between, and we can just flip between them that way. And essentially, that is the basics of the set editor, which is one of the core pieces of functionality that you should get to know if you're going to be working with Planning Analytics Workspace.